Good evening, Congresswoman. And so what provoked this request for documents to begin with? What made you think that her office was using federal funds inappropriately?
Because we have evidence that she has been receiving federal funds. And obviously, we have oversight as to how they're being spent, being the Judiciary Committee and Congress. And so it is our right to determine whether she is spending those funds appropriately. We have the same issue with Bragg in New York. They're using federal funds to engage in political persecution and to go after political enemies. We also need to find out to what extent she has corresponded with, worked with, coordinated with the White House in her efforts to pursue this litigation against Donald Trump and other citizens.
Wait, when you send money to a DA's office and it gets sent around the country from the Department of Justice, and I understand the oversight, is it just, here's $12 million or here's $12 million, spend it on fixing the jails, adding more assistant DAs? I mean, are you specifics? I mean, or do you just sort of send a check?
You don't just send a check. They are supposed to use that money for specific purposes. And that's one of the reasons why we have the oversight. It's just not just that they get a blank check to do whatever they want to do. And again, when we're talking about political persecution, which I think it's very obvious in light of what has happened over the last couple of weeks and the mini trial that we watched play out in the court down there, addressing her relationship, her inappropriate relationship with one of her underlings, and whether that has colored this litigation and her effort to prosecute Donald Trump. So again, I think that we have every right to determine whether our money is being used inappropriately and whether she is the conduit by which the White House is attempting to hamstring President Biden's primary political opponent.
Are there some specific documents you've requested that she has not provided to date? I know that she says it's sort of a rolling process, and I don't know if she's dragging her feet or not, but nonetheless, are there some specific documents that you want, that you think that she's sitting on deliberately?
Well, some of the documents that I would like to see relate to the relationship and the coordination and the interaction with the White House. When her former paramour was billing the county, he has line items in there for meeting with the White House in Washington, D.C. for 8 hours at a time. I think it would be entirely appropriate for us to have some understanding of what took place during those meetings. And again, we need to get back to the fact or to the question of whether Joe Biden and the White House are coordinating in these efforts to prosecute Donald Trump. Donald Trump is clearly not only the front runner, he is the candidate for the Republican Party. He is beating Joe Biden in all of the polls.
There's one particular entry that I have a high interest in, and I can't figure this one out. I know about the meetings at the White House, and I got that you have the interest in them. But there's one entry in his invoices where he said he met, I think, with White House counsel in Athens, Georgia. And for the life of me, I can't figure out. I mean, I get, going to the White House, and maybe there's some negotiation about documents or whatever, and I await the answer to that. But why do you think that, what's with this Athens, Georgia meeting with the White House counsel? You don't expect that one.
So I think that that's also very significant. We need to find out that. But we also have learned that there is an assistant district attorney in her office who is being paid $40-some thousand, $50-some thousand a year, yet has a side business that he is a political operative, a Democrat political operative, where he's actually raked in hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not more, in furthering the Democrat agenda. I think we're entitled to find out more information about that relationship and why he's in the office. And as you say, there were meetings with White House counsel. I think we have the right to understand what took place during those meetings.
Congresswoman Harriet Hageman, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you.